This episode is brought to you by Dubby. Dubby gives you focus and energy without the crash and jitters. It has no sugar, fillers, or artificial dyes. Mix one packet or scoop into 8 or 12 ounces of water. Stir or shake well. Some powderiness is normal, and it has all the important vitamins. So this has vitamin C, B3, B6, and B12. And it's made from coffee fruit extract. So drink it and go conquer a task. And go to debbie.gg and use my promo code Angry Blerd 10 at checkout to save 10% on your order. That's debbie.gg with promo code Angry Blerd 10. Yo, this is Bernard, aka the Scarlet Spider, and welcome to another episode of the Angry Blerd podcast, where I will be discussing everything nerdy that has happened throughout the week. So one of the things that came across my feed, and I don't have a problem with it per se, I'm just like, it's 2024, do people even care about this character anymore? But we are getting a live action Popeye movie that will be in the works from Chernin and King Features. So the project is currently in development as a big budget feature and has screenwriter Michael Calio, who worked on The Sopranos, a movie called Sexy Beast, and The Family with Robert De Niro. And this is going to be the second live-action iteration of Popeye since the one that came out in 1980 with Robin Williams as Popeye and Shelley Duvall as Olive Oyl. But yeah, so it's actually the 95th anniversary of Popeye this year. But I'm still just like, I don't really know how many people are going to be clamoring to go see a Popeye movie in 2024. Like, I don't even know the last time I seen Popeye anything. It had to be when I was a kid. You know, people have done fan trailers of Popeye over the years where, like, you know, The Rock is playing Popeye. Please don't let that happen this time around.
No.
In real life. But, I mean, we'll see. I mean, like, you know, Popeye is like a major figure in like clothing, like on like it's on like Supreme and Bathe and Ape and what's that Moschino? But yeah, I'm just like, I don't know. The only Popeye I really pay attention to is Popeye's chicken. Yeah, if y'all are interested in a Popeye movie, let me know in the comments below. Okay. All right. So Douglas Smith, who I've never heard of, will be joining Superman and Lois in the final season as Jimmy Olsen. I'm actually going to pull up his filmography real quick. Of course, he's a Canadian actor. I mean, why wouldn't he be? He was on Big Love. He was in Percy Jackson's Sea of Monsters. He played Tyson. He was in Terminator Genesis. He's going to be in the Kevin Costner Western movie Horizon, an American Saga. Yeah, I'm just looking at his filmography right now. Oh, well, I did see Terminator Genesis. As much as I try to forget that movie. Yeah, I haven't seen him in anything, but he will be playing Jimmy Olsen. Like I said, he's from Canada. Don't know how old he is. He's probably in his late 20s, early 30s. But yeah, so TV Line reported on this. They said, the Superman and Lois incarnation of Jimmy is an extroverted 20-something known for being the life of the party around the office. Despite being work colleagues with Clark, he's been unable to get him out of his awkward shell. According to Jimmy's official description, unaware of Clark's secret, Jimmy is still determined to become his pal. But apparently he is well known for playing Ben Henriksen on Big Love and Corey Brockfield on the second season of HBO's Big Little Lies. Apparently he did a lot of work with HBO because he was on Big Love, Big Little Lies, and Vinyl. And his brother has directed 8 episodes of Superman and Lois. So, well, that'll be the last CW show I have since everything else is done. Oh, wait, I'm tripping. I still got Walker. Whenever that comes back, I haven't heard any updates on that at all. But, I mean, if y'all haven't watched Superman and Lois, check it out on Max. It's actually pretty good. It's one of the best live action interpretations of Superman we've had since Smallville. Yeah, that was a shot at the Snyderverse. I gotta see if there's a way to silence my mouse digitally. We already know that Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey came out, I believe, last year in 2023. But Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey Part 2 was confirmed last fall. But for those of you who are a fan of the Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey franchise, there's more coming. So we are going to have a Pooniverse. And it's basically going to start, like, it's already started with Winnie the Pooh, but they will have Bambi the Reckoning, Peter Pan's Nightmare Neverland, and Pinocchio Unstring. And so, yeah, these films will culminate into a 2025 release film called Pooniverse, Monsters Assemble. But they're actually calling it the Twisted Childhood Universe. I just say call it the Pooniverse. I mean, I haven't got a chance to watch Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, but I mean, I'll get around to it eventually. And I'm just lying to y'all because I'm not going to get around to it eventually. I got a lot of movies I need to watch that I still haven't watched from like 2 years ago. I don't know what happened like during the pandemic, but like my attention span for like movies and stuff, it's just like going down the crap. Or like I'm still trying to catch up on comics from like a year and a half ago. And it's just like, it is what it is, but I really got to watch this movie. I know it's bad, and I'm not going off the review scores because I don't give two craps about what Rotten Tomatoes says, but I mean, I know it's bad, but I'm going to watch it. Maybe I'll try to do a live stream or something and like my reaction to it and everything. And, you know, who knows? Maybe y'all will like that. I don't know. A lot of trailers dropped this week for movies, TV shows, video games. So let's start with one of the first ones. All right. And that would be Beetlejuice. So what? Almost 30 years since the first Beetlejuice came out? When did the first Beetlejuice come out? So 36 years, guys, since the first Beetlejuice came out. Beetlejuice came out in 1988. So the synopsis is basically this. After a death in the Dietz family, their old pal Beetlejuice re-enters the picture, prompting a new chain of afterlife hijinks. So, Captain O'Hara will be returning as Lydia's stepmom, while Winona Ryder will be returning as Lydia Dietz. And Jenna Ortega has joined the cast as Lydia's daughter, Astrid. I mean, it's a teaser trailer, so there's not really much that they showed. They just showed a funeral. Jenna Ortega riding on a bike over the bridge where Gina Davis and Alec Baldwin died. And her going up into the attic and messing with the diorama of the town. And Lydia going up there and Beetlejuice coming out. But yeah, man, Keaton's back. I can't wait to see it. It comes out September 6th. And Tim Burton is back directing this. And it is written by Alfred Goh and Miles Miller, who worked on Wednesday, who also who also wrote one of my favorite movies, Spider-Man 2, and also were the creators of one of my favorite shows and one of the best shows that was ever on the WB, and that is Smallville. But yeah, so the story is by Al Goh, Miles Miller, and Seth Grahame-Smith, who worked on the Lego Batman movie. So September 6th, let's go see it. Okay. Next trailer, The Acolyte. All right. So, I mean, Star Wars is trying to find their footing per se because of, stuff like The Last Skywalker. And honestly, I think I'm over Star Wars, and it's not because of Star Wars. It's mainly because of the toxic fandom. Because I swear, it's like every time somebody black shows up in Star Wars, all the white guys want to riot. So, we got the trailer for The Acolyte, and this is basically taking place in the High Republic. And The Acolyte is a story that will foretell the downfall of the Jedi Order from its highest highs and examine the rise of the dark side. But yeah, so this footage was actually shown at D23 not D23, Star Wars Celebration in Europe last year. But yeah, so we're going to get a 2-episode premiere. This drops on June 4th. And it has Jung Lee Jae from Squid Game and Amanda Stenberg, Manny Jacinto, Daphne King, Charlie Bartnett, Jodie Turner-Smith, Rebecca Henderson, Dean Charles Chapman, Junice Tumo, and Carrie Ann Moss. So we're getting a Jedi whose lightsaber can like do like a whip type situation. We're getting a Wookiee Jedi, and we're getting a black assassin, and that's what got everybody in a tizzy. So now this is like one of the most disliked things on the Star Wars YouTube page. Last time I checked, it was at like 165,000 dislikes, which I'm like, yo, it's a trailer, yo. No, only white people can be in a galaxy far, far away. Get over it. And I'm just like, y'all must really hate Lando then. I'm so glad Donald Glover isn't doing that Lando movie or series or whatever it was supposed to be. Well, I think he put it on hold, honestly. I hope he doesn't do it because just this, I'm racist. All right, next trailer was The Penguin. The Penguin is basically a crime origin story. So this is set after the events of the Batman. And it will follow Oswald Cobblepot as he continues to rise and take power in the criminal underworld of Gotham City. And this will be dropping on Max later this fall. But the cast has Kristen Milotti, Rennie Felix, Michael Kelly, Deidre O'Connor, Clancy Brown, and Michael Zegan. And Shuri Agabashalu.
What did he say?
Okay. But yeah, so it's executive produced by Matt Reeves and Colin Farrell. And Lauren LaFranc, who also writes on the show and is the showrunner. And Craig Zobo has directed the first 3 episodes. But yeah, I mean, I'm not really one for crime shows. I think like the only crime show I actually watched in my entire life might have been Breaking Bad. I mean, let's go to Wikipedia. Let's just Google crime shows real quick. Of course, it's going to show me like True Detective. Do you consider Dexter a crime show? I mean, I guess so. He is committing murder. Broadchurch. I watched that. I'm just like pulling up popular crime shows on The Rookie, Sherlock. Okay, so I did watch some crime shows. Okay, damn, sue me. But I've never like watched one that was like mob based. So like this, it's like really giving Sopranos vibes, and I'm just like, I'm probably gonna watch it because it's set in the universe of the Batman, and it might have to fill in some stuff for the Batman Part 2. So I don't know. I mean, how many episodes can it's probably gonna be like 6 episodes. Who knows? All right. Next trailer. Alien Romulus. All right, so we already knew about Alien Romulus for like the longest because it was revealed a long time ago that Fede Alvarez was going to be doing an Alien movie, and Fede Alvarez directed Don't Breathe. I don't think he did the second one, but he did the reboot of Evil Dead in 2014. But we got the trailer for this, and this will be coming out on August 16th. And it stars Kaylee Spaney from Priscilla. She's also in that movie Civil War that's coming out next month. Isabella Merced, who was in Madam Web. But yeah, so I mean, I highly doubt that Sigourney Weaver's in this one. But yeah, I mean, the descriptions is basically this: while scavenging the deep ends of a derelict space station, a group of young space colonizers come face to face with the most terrifying form in the universe. So yeah, seems about right. I mean, who want to come in contact with the xenomorphs? with the xenomorph. I ain't trying to, mess with the thing that's got a mouth in a mouth. It's just like, yo, no, back up. What? No, thank you. Didn't Family Guy make fun of that? I vaguely recall Family Guy making fun of Alien, the xenomorph. I mean, I also haven't watched Family Guy in like 20 plus years, so I don't know. Anyway, next trailer. Oh, that was it for the trailers. Cause this one it's a trailer, but it's also a bit of news. So we actually got the trailer for Doctor Who, season 1, and it looks good. I mean, Russell T Davies is back as showrunner. I mean, I really thought he wasn't coming back because once upon a time he did say, "Yo, I'm never going back," but he's back. And everyone's mad that I cannot remember the name of the actress at the moment, but Ruby Sunday, who is the Doctor's new companion, will be leaving after this season. So I think I said this before. If you watched Doctor Who during the Russell T Davies era, with the exception of Rose, every companion left after one season. So that doesn't necessarily mean she's gonna die. It just possibly means that she might just say, "This is too much for me, and I want to go home to my foster mother." Okay, but yeah. So I mean, May 10th on Disney Plus. If you live in the UK, May 11th. It's because you guys are 5 hours ahead of us. So yeah, there's that. Also, Stephen Moffat, who was a former showrunner and head writer on Doctor Who, will be writing um, an episode of Ncuti Gatwa's first season as the 15th Doctor. So Stephen Moffat is actually one of my favorite writers. He created The Weeping Angels. He created River Song. He wrote a lot of episodes that are just like creepy and just like good. I think he wrote Vincent and the Doctor. I'm gonna double check that real quick, which was one of like the best episodes ever with like the Doctor and Vincent Van Gogh. Why can't I spell? I put Vicent and the Doctor. Vincent and the Doctor. Series 5, episode 10. Oh, Richard Curtis wrote this episode apparently. So it was not Stephen Moffat. Stephen Moffat was running the show, so I'm pretty sure he was like, that sounds like a very good episode. How about we do that one? Stephen Moffat also created Sherlock. He also created the Dracula series that was on Netflix. He also created a show called The Unfriended. But yeah, he wrote a lot of episodes. Like looking at his Doctor Who filmography, 48 episodes, 4 mini episodes. So yeah, I mean, I'm glad Steven's back. A movie that is 28 years old is getting a sequel, and that is Happy Gilmore. I haven't watched an Adam Sandler comedy since The Cobbler, and I don't know if it's just because I feel like Adam Sandler might have lost it, but I just really haven't been rocking with his movies. Like I saw Uncut Gems, and that was like the last Adam Sandler movie I saw, but he didn't write that. But yeah, according to Christopher McDonald, aka Shooter McGavin, he said that he saw Adam about 2 weeks ago. He was doing an interview with 92.3, The Fan in Cleveland. He said, "Yeah, I saw Adam about 2 weeks ago," and he says to me, "McDonald, you're gonna love this." I said, "What?" And he says, "How about that?" And he showed them a draft for Happy Gilmore. But he said, it would be awesome if it's in the works because fans have been asking for it. But here's the problem with Happy Gilmore. Happy Gilmore is still owned by Universal, and Adam Sandler has a deal with Netflix. So if this movie is indeed done, Netflix is not to pay a pretty penny to get the licensing rights for Happy Gilmore. And I know they like working with Adam Sandler, but I don't know how much they're going to charge for this, but they're going to have to come out their ass for it. So Anthony Mackie was doing an interview with Radio Times. He was talking about everything from Twisted Metal, which is on Paramount Plus UK because they don't have Peacock over there. He was talking about how he was disappointed that The Falcon and the Winter Soldier didn't get a second season. And he said he enjoyed doing the show and he just really wanted to get a second season, mainly so him and Sebastian Stan can hang out and get paid for it. And he said Daniel Brühl was also very awesome on the show. He also said that he's sad that Sebastian is not going to be in Captain America Brave New World. But he is excited about, the movie. But he did say, anytime he gets to hang out with Daniel Brühl, it's a fun time. But he said the whole thing with Twisted Metal is completely different to Marvel. It's gotta be, right? Because that's based off of a video game that really didn't have any type of story, so you can just make whatever you want. Versus, Marvel having, 75 years of comic franchises that touch on everything, and you get to pick and choose what stories you get to adapt and whatnot. But I get it. It would be nice to see Bucky and Sam, act goofy and debate about things again. But hey, Bucky's gonna be in Thunderbolts, so what can you do? All right. In a world where physical media is allegedly dying, Disney Plus is still doubling down. Well, Disney is still doubling down on releasing a lot of their Disney Plus shows on 4K Blu-rays. So late last year, we got season 1 of Loki, WandaVision, seasons 1 and 2 of The Mandalorian, and I feel like there was something else. I can't remember. But, Wave 2 will be coming out on April 30th, and that will include Andor, the complete first season, Obi-Wan Kenobi, the complete series. So that alone just confirmed that there's not a season 2 of Obi-Wan Kenobi happening anytime soon. Moon Knight, the complete first season. That makes no sense because I could have sworn Oscar Isaac said he is only going to do 1 season. So unless they recast. But Falcon and the Winter Soldier, the complete first season. That should say the complete series because now we have confirmation that we're not getting a second season of that. But you can get this at Walmart or Amazon, and they will all be $54.99 each. So I plan on buying Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I might get Moon Knight. I'm definitely not getting Andor. So I'll probably get everything but Andor. Because me and Samir tried to watch Andor when he was still doing the pod, and we just couldn't get into it. It felt too foreign to be Star Wars related, per se. But yeah, so there's that. And then speaking of Star Wars, guys, so have you guys ever done a movie marathon in the movie theaters? I did it once, and it really wasn't a movie. It was a mini marathon. Let's just say that it was basically the Dark Knight trilogy. So, there was I think it might have been the Regal by my house. They were doing a midnight release for The Dark Knight Rises. So they showed Batman Begins and The Dark Knight gearing up to The Dark Knight Rises. So we're getting ready to get a Star Wars Skywalker Saga 20-hour marathon. But it looks like it's going to be in a few theaters. So like AMC is going to be one of them. They will be playing the films in chronological order, not release order. So that means they're going to be starting with episode 1. All right. And this is going to start on May 3rd, and it will go all the way into Star Wars Day. So it looks like the screenings will start at 8 p.m. on Friday, that May 3rd. There will not be an intermission. So basically, the only thing you can do is choose when you're going to get up and go. And after that, you got to, choose your discernment. I'm not seeing the price of tickets. I'm seeing a rumor that it's going to be $84. But you will be getting a limited poster as well as a special preview of the Acolyte. So, Yeah, I mean, that's 9 movies, bro. You have to like attach like a catheter or something to you if you plan on just sitting there and watching every single Star Wars movie within the Skywalker saga. So only thing that you will not be watching is Rogue One and Solo. But yeah, I can't do it. I'm good. I am good. All right. Video game news. So I talked about a while ago that Marvel was working on a Captain America and Black Panther game. And we actually got the cinematic story trailer for that. And it's called Marvel 1943 Rise of Hydra. So, yeah, Marvel and Skydance released the trailer for 1943 Rise of Hydra. It will be coming out next year. And we're, sorry, I had a little bit of heartburn right there. You will get to play as Captain America, Black Panther, and 2 other players. 2 other characters and battle against the forces of evil during World War II. So you will not be playing as T'Challa due to the fact that this game takes place in 1943. You will be playing as Azuri, T'Challa and Shuri's grandfather. So yeah, you'll be playing as Gabe Jones as well, and Nanali, who is a Wakandan spy. And the game takes place in Paris, from what I saw. The cast will feature Carrie Payton, who we know as the voice of Cyborg in Teen Titans and Teen Titans Go. He's also Acolyte on Young Justice. He was also, I want to say, Ezekiel on The Walking Dead, if I'm not mistaken. He will be Azuri. Drew Moreland will be playing Captain America. Megan Ichiwuki will be playing Nanali. I know her from playing Vixen on Arrow and Kevin Hart's fiance. And what's the movie he did with Tiffany Haddish? Night School. Marquis Richardson as Gabriel Jones. And Lynn Renee will be playing Julie, who is a key ally in the French Resistance. But yeah, I mean, as long as this isn't a turn-based or card-based game like Midnight Suns, I'm down to play it. So, I'm not the only one who has disdain for this Crow reboot that is coming out this summer. Not only did the actress who played Sarah in The Crow with Brandon Lee said, I'm good on this. Alex Proyas, who was the director of The Crow, said, nah, I'm cool as well. So, he said, The Crow is not just a movie. Brandon Lee died making it, and it was finished as a testament to his lost brilliance and tragic loss. It is his legacy, and that's how it should remain. So, I love when people agree with me on some things, and apparently this trailer has, at the time of this recording, 78,000 dislikes on YouTube.
Yeah,
Let me see if there's been more, because I'm reading this from an article. Let me click on the trailer because I thought that was going to take me to YouTube. Great. I forgot that YouTube does not show you the dislikes. You gotta put in basically need an app on your browser to see that the dislikes. Alex also said, I don't get any joy from seeing negativity about my fellow filmmakers' work. And I'm certain the cast and crew really had all good intentions, as we do with any film. So it pains me to say more on this topic, but I think the fans' response speaks volumes. So yes, I'm still going to see the movie, despite that I am a diehard fan of the first one. Loco, watch it. Tell him, Alex, stand on business. So this was actually talked about over a year ago. There was a short for Across the Spider-Verse that was made called The Spider Within, a Spider-Verse story. So this will actually be dropping on Sony's YouTube page at 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 a.m. Pacific time on March 27th. And this will follow Miles as he struggles to balance his responsibilities as a teenager, friend, student, and Spider-Man. And navigating those pressures, Miles experiences a panic attack that forces him to confront the manifestations of his anxiety and learn that reaching out for help can be just as brave and act as protecting a city from evil. I was surprised that this wasn't put on the Blu-ray or the 4K Blu-ray. So this will only be available on YouTube. So when it drops, y'all check it out. Okay, let me know what you think. They didn't give a run time on how long it's going to be or anything. But I mean, sure, why not? But I'm gonna check it out. All right. So for those of you who plan on going to Saudi Arabia, there will be a Dragon Ball theme park opening in Saudi Arabia. So this is to get more tourism because a lot of people go to Japan just for like the aesthetic of like seeing like big ass Gundams and things like that. This is done by a company called Quidia Investment, and this will be in Radia. And according to their website, the park will encompass more than a 5.3 million square feet within Kidia City, a plot of desert around 40 minutes from the capital that has been marked for development as an entertainment district with plans for a stadium, hotels, water park, Six Flags park, and golf courses. So one of the park's signature rides would be a 230 feet high roller coaster. So this will be the Shinron coaster. All right, let me see if I can actually get any more details on this from the website because that LA Times article was very minimal. All right, so I'm gonna read what they wrote on their website. Get ready to immerse yourself in the world's only Dragon Ball theme park, just in Kidia City. On a scale never imagined before, the park's interactive and explorable themed experiences will allow you to live in the adventures at the heart of the action, experience and journey from the first Dragon Ball series to the latest Dragon Ball Super. So, the Dragon Ball theme park will have more than 30 theme rides, including 5 groundbreaking attractions. Dragon Ball theme park is a landmark asset at Kidia City. Visitors will also have the option to stay in the themed hotels and indulge in exotic cuisine inside towering landmarks. Build and share long-lasting memories with your family and friends. Wow, one day is not enough. So, also says step into the world of interconnected narratives and enjoy iconic landmarks in the Dragon Ball sagas, such as Kame House Island, Capsule Corporation, and Beerus Planet. So, I mean, it looks awesome. 7 distinctive theme songs based on 7 Dragon Balls. Like I said, 30 plus rides. But yeah, I might have to take a trip to Saudi Arabia. Go to Riyadh. Because, I mean, just these concepts, if they can actually make the park look like this, I mean, it's Saudi Arabia. They got the money. All right. I think it's time to get into my reviews. All right. So I went and saw the American Society of Magical Negroes. And I can honestly say the movie was good. I thought it was a little bit campy, but then I had time to sit with it and I realized that the movie was a satire of all the tropes of magical Negroes in film. So, Will Smith's character in The Legend of Bagger Vance, Michael Clark Duncan in The Green Mile. They actually used those two in the film, but they slightly remixed it so, they didn't get sued. But yeah, so the film stars, this film was written and directed by Kobe Libby, and it was starring Justice Smith, David Alan Grier, and Ann Lee Bogan. So Justice Smith plays a guy named Aaron, who is basically just like he's the trope of just like the nerdy guy who just can't get it together. Like, I mean, the man is a freaking he calls himself a sculptor, despite the fact that all of his quote unquote sculptors are made from yarn, and no one's buying his art. So David Alan Grier shows up. He's actually working the place as a bartender named Roger, and takes him to the American Society of Magical Negroes after he comes into an encounter with a drunk white woman struggling at an ATM, and he almost got beat up by two white men. But honestly, this movie was good. I like the tropes of being the magical Negro who helps out the white man. And the thing about this one is he did that until he chose not to, because he liked this one girl at his job, and he found out that the his client, as they called him, the white guy he was basically helping, like the same person. He was like, nah, you know what? Why do we always have to sacrifice? I'm good on this. And so he went after the girl, and I mean, it's really kind of hard to explain like this movie, but honestly, it was good. I really didn't have any notes. I laughed a lot. And so yeah, on a scale of 1 to 10, I can honestly say this was an 8. I would actually see it again. So yeah, guys, if you haven't seen it, go see it. Come on now. Don't let people discourage you from going to see stuff that you think might look bad, but it's actually pretty good. Damn good movie. Next review, Invincible. So we are on episode 6? I believe we're on episode 6. Yeah, episode 6. Picking right up where we left off with a majority of the Guardians of the globe in space fighting the Sequids that have taken over Rex. What's the name of the episode, by the way? Oh, it's Not That Simple. So yeah. Not Rex. What was his name? Russ is possessed by the Sequids. Russ Livingston, the astronaut. So yeah. So while they're still trying to fight him, and Rudy, aka Robot, is working on that EMP that he's making from his armor. The Shapesmith the Martian who's going by the name of Shapesmith, who took Russ's identity, is covering him and Eve because they are the only two who don't have impenetrable skin. Immortal and Invincible get into a slight dick measuring contest, and it takes Immortal to realize that, hey, he's not as fast and strong as Invincible, so he's basically got to cover him so he can get to Russ and activate the device. Meanwhile, on Earth, Duplicate is dead. Shrinking Ray is dead for all we know at this time. And Rex is missing a hand, and he has a gun pointed to his head, and he gets shot in the head. I don't recall that happening in the comics. Like I said, we're getting a little bit more mature than what we did, because like we are moving on a whole lot faster than the comics did. I mean, the comic went on for like 12 years, maybe longer. But Rex somehow survives and beats the Lizard King's ass. Did he kill him? I don't recall if he did. And Debbie is still raising Nolan's half Viltrumite, half Thraxian baby, who she decides to name Oliver after her father. And Cecil is still trying to get her to give up the baby. And she's like, nah, I raised Mark, I can raise this kid. The Guardians get Russ, and they attempt to leave, but the Martians try to stop them, and they basically just fuck up their ships. And they make it back home, and things are awkward between Mark and Amber, because he's been going basically back to back, and they really haven't had time to talk. So there's a lot of foreshadowing. Like if you go back and watch this episode, when they're at the coffee shop, the hearts, like, I don't know what it is with like people getting like stuff done in foam and stuff for their coffee, but they have two broken hearts. So breakup is definitely coming. They find out about what happened on Earth with Rex, Sugar Ray, and Duplicate, and Immortal was just broken at this point. Like he realized like he legit loved her and she wasn't just like a placeholder to be there. And Rex is getting a new hand built. And Rick, who we saw in season 1, who was a part of D.A. Sinclair's weird experiments, has made a full recovery. But he is still traumatized from everything. And you low-key see Eve start to get feelings for Mark once Rex kind of tells her what Mark told him about, him and Eve possibly being on the outs. Mark went to go talk to Irv. Was it Irv? About, his girl troubles, and Irv was like, yo, why are you sitting here talking to me? You need to go have a conversation with your girl. At the same time, Kate's dead. Eve and Amber are talking about, her issues with Mark. So it's like, yo, they're basically more or less saying the same thing to their respective people. So it's like, yo, why are you talking to me? Go talk to Mark. It's just like, shh. Outlook not so good for these two. Art, not Irv. But also Alan returns to Earth, and Immortal goes up there and just starts shit. Alan's trying to tell him like, look, I'm here to see Invincible. He's like, nah, you were sent by Omni-Man. And Mark goes down there and goes up into space and tell him to chill out, but Alan's telepathic implant only works with one person at a time. So he's basically got to play telephone. And he starts to tell kind of like, oh, he's the ruler of space and whatnot. It was a very funny scene, but yeah, this episode was real good. We also found out that Russ had a sequid in his stomach that has now possessed him. So now we are going to have to deal with all this crap all over again. And we got a post-credit scene with Angstrom Levy returning back to his native Earth. And I don't know what he is going to do there. Is he going to try to take over his Earth? Is he going to try to kill his versions of Invincible and Omni-Man? I don't know. Like I said, we're kind of pivoting from the comic, but the bones are still there. But obviously, some things are different. All right, so we will see when we see. All right, let's get into X-Men 97 because I got 2 episodes of that to review. So, episode 1, To Me, My X-Men, takes place after the series finale of X-Men, 1 year after Professor X left Earth with the Shi'ar to save his life. But as far as the world knows, he's dead. So, the X-Men are still continuing to live out Charles Xavier's dream to make a world where mutants and humans can live in peace. But they are legally sanctioned by the UN now. Jean is pregnant, and the episode starts with the Friends of Humanity. Didn't realize it when I watched it as a child, but I'm watching this, I'm like, FOH, bro, their initials are fuck out of here? Really? And that's how they feel, because they like, yo, mutants, fuck out of here. They kidnapped Roberto da Costa, who was actually the heir to the Costa fortune. And now they have a Sentinel tech. Like, they have little mini Sentinel guns that look like the Mega Man busters. And Storm comes in, says, yo, chill out. And they ain't feeling it. Bishop shows up. They take out, Storm and Bishop get taken out. And Cyclops shows up. And finally, people have made Cyclops look cool. But I feel like they put a little bit too much dip on the chip because they got the man using the optic blast to like skirt around and stuff. So they stopped the Friends of Humanity. They save Roberto, and then we go back to the mansion where Gambit is making beignets, and y'all need to grow up because a lot of people were mad that Gambit was wearing a crop top. You gotta remember, this takes place in the 90s. A lot of celebrities were wearing crop tops. You can Google baseball players, basketball players, just celebrities in general wearing crop tops. It takes place in '97. Get over it. But yeah, so Wolverine scares Roberto off, and they have to track him down. And Morph has just basically stuck with a default mannequin mode when he's in the X Mansion, which is basically how he looks in the comics. So I don't know why people are mad. Are they mad because he's because the creator of X-Men '97 said that Morph is non-binary? I don't know, but so yeah, Jean and Cyclops are talking about leaving since Jean is pregnant with Cable, by the way, which she knew that was her son in the original series because I rewatched the whole show and she read his mind. And now all of a sudden she's want to be all high and mighty about not reading people's mind. But they go and see Henry Gyrick in jail because Henry Gyrick's the guy who, quote unquote, killed Charles Xavier. And they're trying to find Bolivar Trask, who created the Sentinels. So they have Jean invade his mind and they find out where he is. He's at a junkyard in the Sahara and he's building the Sentinels. He's rebuilding the Sentinels with Master Mold, which was basically the giant Sentinel that he made that makes little mini Sentinels. So they go to the Sahara. The Blackbird gets fucked up. And at this point is basically like the scene in Iron Man 3. I don't remember what Tony called it, but basically, what was it? Barrel of monkeys. So Storm and Rogue are slowly starting to catch everybody. Morph changes into Archangel and is somehow able to fly, which is not a part of his power set. So yeah, they put a little bit of dip on Morph that isn't necessarily needed to be there. And Cyclops, when I said they were doing too much with Cyclops, this is how I know they were doing too much with Cyclops. They let this man free fall out the air and use his optic blast to slow his descent. And then he hit the superhero landing. So I was like, really? We doing that now? But okay. So they took out the Sentinels, they took out Master Mode, they took out Bolivar Trask, called Valerie Cooper, and got him arrested. And they were getting ready to tell everybody that they were leaving. And Magneto shows up with Charles' last will and testament and says, hey, Charles left everything to me, so y'all are now my X-Men. I'm like, wait, what? I really wish they didn't put that in the trailer. That would have been a nice twist to get. All right. So episode 2, Mutant Liberation begins. Magneto starts saving people to try to live up to Charles' legacy. And he is not killing anyone who has attacked mutants. Cyclops and Jean decide to stay behind because they're like, yo, it's Magneto. Scott's like, I don't trust him. But Valerie Cooper shows up to the X Mansion to arrest Magneto for his crimes against humanity from the original series and who knows what else behind the scenes. And to show that Magneto is trying to change, he willingly goes. So he is put on trial at the UN, and the Friends of Humanity decide to basically pull a January 6th and basically force their way into the building to kill Magneto. Executioner attempts to take out Magneto, but Storm jumps in the way and saves him. But in that process, Storm now loses her powers. Cyclops was there, but he left because Jean started to go into labor. That was a very funny scene when Jean was like, Logan, he's here, and Wolverine's like, who? Apocalypse? She's like, no, the baby, and she telekinetically throws him his jacket, and he just puts his arm up and grabs the keys. But so yeah, little baby Cable is born. Storm leaves the X Mansion because now she doesn't feel like she needs to be there because she is no longer a mutant. And Cyclops and Jean say, you know what, Magneto is very trustworthy now because the professor trusted him, so I have to trust you. And they're getting ready to leave, and Morph's like, oh, Storm will be back in a minute. Somebody knocks on the door, and then they open the door, and it's Jean. And it's just like, what the hell is going on? But yeah, I mean, good first 2 episodes. Like I said, they put a little bit too much dip on the chip with Cyclops. I get everybody wants the boy to shine, but come on, man. Cyclops can't do half. I mean, I'm not even sure if he can like do that with an optic blast, because if that was the case, when he still keep going, like unless he like stop. I mean, I don't know how. I don't know. I'm overthinking it, but yeah. I mean, it is what it is. All right, guys. This is your boy Bernard, aka the Scarlet Spider. That was another episode of the Angry Blerd podcast. Be sure to rate, review, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. This episode was brought to you by Dubby. Go to dubby.gg and use the promo code AngryBlerd10 at checkout to save 10% on your order. I will see y'all next week. Be easy. Peace.